In my introduction video, I talked about how the main thing I had to do to give up dieting was to give up binge eating was to stop dieting. And I want to talk more about that now because I think this is such a huge piece that I was just completely missing. As I said in my introduction video, I thought that if only I could control my eating more, then of course I would not binge eat. This resulted in me spending literally years trying every different diet on the planet. I have been a vegetarian since I was 13. That decision had nothing to do with weight loss. Honestly, it had to do with me being an incredibly picky eater. And when my dad was married to his second wife, I didn't like any of the food that she prepared. And I decided that if I was a vegetarian, there would be less weird things that I would have to eat. And I just didn't really like meat that much. So the point of that is that at one time, I went paleo because I thought it would help me get fitter, lose weight, stop binge eating. It made all these promises about how I could eat everything that I wanted, as much as I wanted, as long as it was on the plan. So I even left the world of vegetarianism for maybe a couple of months in the fall of 2012 because that was just the super popular thing to do and I wanted to try it. And I remember one time trying to eat turkey, like a turkey meatloaf or something, and it was I don't like meat. I mean, I like bacon. Who doesn't like bacon? But I would do all these crazy things. So the other diets I tried, you guys probably don't even know who this is. There's Dr. McDougall, who's the super low-fat vegan diet. And for years afterward, if I would eat peanut butter, I would feel guilty because it's too high fat, blah, blah, blah. I tried calorie counting. I tried everything. I tried just portion control. I tried going gluten-free. I tried giving up sugar. I tried a million different things and none of them helped at all. I was still binge eating. At its worst, I feel like I was binge eating at least multiple times a week. It really hit me. It would hit me hard at night, sometimes in the afternoon. I would start out my day fine, usually on some sort of like clean slate, everything's going to be okay today kind of plan. And then by the end of the day, it was like one thing would unravel and I would just go back to the kitchen over and over again. If my boyfriend, who's now my husband, was gone for the night, that was definitely permission to just like eat as much food as I possibly could. It makes me sad to even think about it because I don't let my mind go there anymore. I don't think back to this. It was such a painful time. And if you are going through that right now, I relate. I know how awful it feels to go to bed at night and be so full that you just feel like you feel like you're going to explode. How awful you feel the next day, how much your stomach hurts, how you say you'll never do it again. Been there, so been there, and I'm not there anymore. And you don't have to be there either. So giving up dieting. I read some stuff over the years that made me think, okay, well, if I gave up dieting, I would stop binge eating. I'm thinking of a few authors in particular who talked about really listening to your body, getting in touch with exactly what you wanted, eating just until you're full, but always letting yourself eat what you want. So if you want chocolate chip cookies, you should eat them, but you should only eat them when you're hungry, and you should eat them until you're just full, and then let it go. When you're hungry again, you can do that again. So I sort of got that idea of, okay, I shouldn't be restricting the types of foods I allow myself to eat, but I still very much had this idea that, well, the purpose of doing this is so I can lose weight. I'm trying to stop binge eating so I can lose weight. I had it very much all tied in together with the idea that I have to lose weight, I have to lose weight, I have to lose weight. And that was constantly on repeat in the background. And I did not realize it, but that was pushing my binge eating forward and forward and forward and forward. So that started happening. I would read all these different books. I tried so many different things. I did see a counselor at a couple different points too. So I was throwing everything at this, which I think you should too. Throw everything at it. But make sure you're doing stuff that feels right to you, because I had one therapist who just was not a good fit. I mean, you just have to go with your gut and go with what feels right for you. So at any rate, I read all these books and I was kind of getting the idea that I needed to give up dieting. But so many of these books phrased it in a way that the underlying message was, well, if you give up dieting and if you do it right, then you'll lose weight. And so I still had that story that I need to lose weight going on. So that was getting me nowhere. I will say over time, my binges were decreasing, but I still was not free. Plus, it's miserable to spend life thinking you have to lose weight. It's just a really, really, really awful feeling. And I think what changed for me over time, there were a few different things, but one of the things that changed for me was reading more about, I don't want to scare anyone off here, reading more about feminism and learning about how women's bodies are used and seen, and realizing that I had been objectifying myself and for years seeing myself from the outside and seeing myself as an object, even though, I mean, I had a long-term boyfriend and then husband. It wasn't like I was trying to attract a mate. It was nothing like that. I had a job, it was just this idea in my head that because of what society had taught me, I needed to be thinner and that I didn't look the right way and that I would be loved more or I would be sexier or whatever if I changed my body. And as I started to understand more about our culture, more about our society, more about how oftentimes women are valued, it helped me to release my grip on the idea that I had to look a certain way. So when I say that I had to give up dieting to stop binge eating, what I'm really saying is that I had to stop trying to lose weight. I had to stop trying to change my body. And I know that is incredibly scary. And I really, 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 I know I felt that way for so long. I was constantly trying to change my body. Even if I said I was trying to get healthy, I was trying to change my body. And that just kept me stuck in that trap. So I want you to know that if you're stuck in the binge eating cycle, it's a cycle because on one hand is the binge eating, on the other hand is the restricting. It's a self-perpetuating cycle, and you can't get rid of the one without getting rid of the other. So if you want to get rid of binge eating, you have to get rid of the thing that's causing the spin cycle. You have to let go of the wanting to change your body. And I know that's scary, and it's something that you can think about, look at, work on later. But if you really truly want to be free, you need to put down the dieting and you need to put down the trying to change your body. And I will get into more details about that in another video, but I just wanted to put that seed of an idea in your head that from me, someone who never ever thought she could stop binge eating, I am free from binge eating and have been for years now, and these are the steps that I took. Number 1, stop dieting, put down that big rock you're carrying that you have to change your body. You don't have to change your body right now. You don't have to change your body ever. You need to change your mind. We'll talk more about it next time. Thank you for being here.